And also earlier today, the Catholic Broadcasting Cable Network, it's called EWTN, which is based in Alabama and broadcasts around the globe, announced it is suing the White House over this decision. EWTN says the policy would force it to use donor contributions to pay for morally objectionable health services. And joining me now, John Stanton, writer for Roll Call, who's been following this story. John, thank you very much. I know that you wrote this story along with one of your colleagues as well. But let's first talk about this lawsuit from EWTN. It's a Catholic Broadcasting Cable Network. Is this a large voice in the Catholic community?
It's fairly large. I think that the larger voice certainly is the Council of Bishops that really sort of are the spokespeople for the church itself. But groups like this, or if universities start filing suit as well, it could become a serious problem, I would think, for the administration.
Now, how serious of a problem is it that you have now some Democrats? We just showed Senator Manchin coming out. Are these people who just needed a boost in their states for survival? What's behind this dissent within the party?
I think it's a little bit of, some of it is certainly politics, I think, but I think also there are a number of Catholics, particularly in the Northeast, that are Democrats that, look at this as sort of picking at a wound that has been going on within the Catholic Church for decades over contraception, and it's making them very uncomfortable. A lot of them are still sort of keeping their problems to themselves, but they are privately letting the White House know that this is not something that they want to have come out, particularly with a pretty big election this year. They feel like this is a bad time, at the very least, to be having this fight.
Earlier today, Senator Barbara Boxer was on Daily Rundown as well. We have what she had to say, and I've got a question to ask you regarding the gender gap, if you will, on this issue. Let's play Senator Boxer from Daily Rundown earlier.
When the dust settles here, the women of this country and the men who support them will see it's this president who is standing with women for their health care, and Republicans like against women's health care.
So, John, as we noted, Marco Rubio is teaming up with Joe Manchin, obviously different sides of the aisle, and trying to have some kind of objection here to this. But I'm curious, we're getting so many tweets and entries on Facebook regarding the voices that are discussing this. When you talk about the Catholic leadership, obviously mostly men. When you look at the face of Congress, mostly men here talking about this important issue for women. I understand that it is also an important religious issue, but is there a wrinkle here when you look at Barbara Boxer versus Joe Manchin and you clearly see woman, man there?
I think so, and I think certainly Democrats think there is. I talked with Debbie Wasserman Schultz yesterday, and she made very similar arguments to what Senator Boxer did. I think Democrats look at this issue as, most Catholics use contraception, and, that there is not as big of a concern about this within the broader Catholic community, and they look at it really very much as an issue of women's health. And, with increasingly with women becoming a big part of the Democratic sort of base, they see a potential opening for a political gain from it, and sort of standing up for women's issues on their side of the ledger, certainly.
And I should note that students from some of the nation's most prestigious Catholic universities have joined together in a statement they put out today. Students at Catholic universities, it says in part, religion has two sides, freedom from religion and freedom of religion. I suggest you think about being in the shoes of a 22-year-old woman. Any compromise will be a step back to this direction. That is a part of the statement from the students at Catholic universities as they identify themselves. Thank you, John, for your report. Greatly appreciate it.
Anytime.
Coming up next on News Nation.